let's cross to Jerusalem now to get the latest from our correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky. Noga, tell us about the atmosphere where you are then. It's the day after the big party. How are people feeling, especially in Israel, with most of those bodies of the dead hostages not yet returned?
Good to see you, Karis. Well, the feeling in Israel is one, first of all, of getting accustomed to the end of the war, to not having fighter jets above in the sky, to a release of tension, I would say, and a huge relief yesterday at seeing the release of those still living hostages and verifying, in fact, that they were still alive, which was never a certainty. But you're right that there are major concerns. The Trump plan does not have any enforcement mechanism in place, and it does not even have any currently existing country or body or institution or anything that can take over the administration of Gaza from those areas, the populated areas of Gaza where the Israeli army has retreated. And so we've seen significant violence, retribution by Hamas gunmen against their claimed enemies. And we just saw now an incident in which the Israeli army explains that 3 armed terrorists approached Israeli soldiers across the yellow line that is in the area to which they have withdrawn, and that after attempts were made to dissuade them from continuing to come towards those soldiers, they were shot and killed. So that's another, it's not exactly a violation, but it's sort of a breakdown. And as you said, the matter of these families, 24 Israeli families at least, who are left in a limbo without their loved ones coming back. In some cases, hostages who were killed in captivity, didn't survive captivity, or who were killed on October 7th and dragged into Hamas. So today is a quiet day, a day of release, but also a day of beginning to reckon with really a mountain ahead of being able to feel that this ceasefire really is solid and in place.
And this peace plan, as it's called, brokered by the help of U.S. President Donald Trump, some in Israeli politics on the far right didn't want to see this plan or this ceasefire even happen. What are the next steps then, given the fragmentation within the Israeli government?
I think that the fragmentation inside Prime Minister Netanyahu's cabinet is much of it is for show. The fact of the matter is that throughout these last 2 years, and even the year before that, before the war was a very tumultuous year in Israel, with the government attempting to completely transform, to change, a regime change in Israel. In fact, we've never seen any of the most extremist ministers in Netanyahu's government actually threaten to leave. One of the ministers, Ben Gvir, he left in a farcical way for a few weeks after the last ceasefire, but the government didn't even pretend to restaff those ministries or those positions. I think what we're seeing is an extreme right wing. Much of the government is extreme right wing that likes to provoke and that certainly wants to keep its base happy and tickled, but that has no intention of going anywhere, and that feels that their best vehicle for holding on to power is Prime Minister Netanyahu himself. I'd like to point out that yesterday in the Knesset, while 3 members of Netanyahu's coalition did boycott Donald Trump's speech, the others sat there and applauded the American president, even when he spoke of Palestinian rights and Palestinian national aspirations. So I think for now, Netanyahu is safe.